I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater.
The year is 1976, and the space probe Arcturus 3 is returning from a mission to Venus. Our two astronauts have gathered an unbelievable wealth of information, and they're bringing it home. The Seaview is their latest checkpoint. All systems look good for re-entry and landing.
Checkpoint Seaview. Seaview, come in.
This is Seaview. What's going on up there?
We've entered some kind of force field. Instrumentation is going wild.
Can you identify the force? Where's it coming from?
Negative. We're in the center of the field, going out of control.
Or not. Whatever this is, there's nothing they can do about it.
Take evasive action. Use manual guidance.
Our controls are locked in. We're being ripped apart.
I won't make us listen to the end. Telemetry, tracking, and everything else has pinpointed the source of the force field in China. Worse, whoever made that force field also downloaded all the scientific information our boys had gathered before they destroyed the craft. All that knowledge, and they're the only ones who have it. And they're not into sharing with the world, even when it's harmless science about another planet. Captain Crane will go ashore on the China coast, make contact with an underground agent, and the agent will lead him to the installation that makes the force field. Once he's there, I think we can figure it out. I once knew a guy who told me there's no problem in the world that can't be solved by the proper application of high explosives.
Chip, we'll need special weapons. The XR3 gear.
I'll see it stowed aboard.
Chief, you and Kowalski are coming with me.
Aye, aye, sir.
We shove off in 10 minutes in combat fatigues and gear.
Yes, sir.
I'll brief you en route.
Right.
If you had told him that a few minutes ago, they could be ready to go now. And this must really be serious if we're breaking out the X3 gear. Wait, this is XLR, not X3. Where did I put the...
Maintain G frequency. I'll be in communication every half hour until I return with Major Cheng.
The flying sub is parked just off the coast. Captain Crane is going ashore to meet a resistance member named Major Lee Cheng. They've never met, but they have recognition codes. Sharkey and Kowalski will mind the store with the blinds closed on the windows so nobody can see their lights.
FS1, unscramble, proceed.
This is Sea Dog. Flying Sub 1. Put Captain Crane on.
Sorry, sir. The captain went ashore to contact Major Cheng.
Can you communicate?
We have a G frequency established.
Get on it, Chief. Tell him Washington reports a king-size follow-up in the underground. He may be walking right into a trap.
It'd be a really boring episode if he wasn't. If you're gonna stop and whittle, go further into the bushes where you're not so exposed, Captain. Captain Crane's pistol makes the same sound. His XR3 gun must not be that special since the other guy has one too. It fires a special round that blows holes in trees. Its main use is clearing paths through the jungle. And even from the back, it's easy to recognize George Takei. That man is a national treasure. After the United States stole everything his family had and crammed them into an internment camp during World War II, he got the ultimate revenge, massive success. I've followed him and Brad for years, and they're both so much fun it's indescribable. Old George isn't perfect, though. He's losing a fight with Captain Crane.
All right, friend. What gives?
Crane loves to do this stuff the hard way. Me, I'm grabbing a big stick, and when he goes by, I use it to maximum effect.
You're an American. That's obvious. Try something else on for size.
Very well. Fly bolt is centrifuge. How do you handle?
That's the recognition code he's been waiting for. The man identifies himself as Major Lee Cheng, Crane's underground contact. The boys on the flying sub have their own issues. There's a scuba diver approaching, and they're hoping it's the captain. That's not the captain unless he went into town and bought a different wetsuit.
Fly ball to center field, fly ball to center field. How do you handle?
Circus catch closes out the bottom of the ninth inning.
How does the scorecard read?
No hits, no runs, no errors.
Come into the dugout.
That's the same correct recognition code. Now, we all heard that voice, but the chief and Kowalski will still be surprised when the hood comes off and there's a lady under it.
Well, just who are you?
I'm your underground contact, Major Lee Cheng.
Who knew the underground had two Major Lee Chengs? That's got to get confusing. Aboard the Seaview, Admiral Nelson is explaining to Chip Morton that another space probe is scheduled for re-entry in a few hours, and if that Chinese thingy could topple Arcturus 3, it'll do the same with Arcturus 4. They can't let that happen.
Our data processing here indicates it's a Halden computer.
Blake Halden, a space expert, is working for them?
That's the man.
One of the most subtle messages this show sends out is this: foreign powers can't develop any of this cool stuff without an American defector. The scientists that work for America's enemies are subpar by any measure. They have to have good old American know-how to be a real threat. Today is no exception.
12 hours. That was my prediction. And my prediction was remarkably accurate, Colonel. According to this, the Arcturus 4 will start its re-entry orbit in precisely 11 hours and 53 minutes.
So much for secrecy. He knows everything about the whole program.
Just what assurance do I have, Mr. Halden, that you and your machine are furnishing correct data?
Why shouldn't he? He has no reason to lie to you. It's not hard to see that the colonel is a dullard. As I said, without the brilliant American scientist, he's just a guy in a suit. Captain Crane is getting the story from Cheng. He doesn't know about the other Cheng yet.
Apparently, we have a traitor in our underground movement. When we reached our rendezvous area, they were waiting for us and opened fire.
But they didn't get you.
No, but when I saw you stalking through the jungle...
You thought they were returning to kill you?
Yes.
His story tracks, but Crane still doesn't trust him.
Reading, proceed.
This is Leader. About to return to base with a guest. Acquire proper traveling gear. Send immediately to the original rendezvous point. Out.
Captain, we got word from the...
Shouldn't hang up so quick, Captain. They have a lot to tell you. It'll have to wait until Kowalski brings extra scuba gear for this guy and everybody is on board. The underwater scenes are a mixed bag. Some are obviously in a pool, but some of the sequences with the flying sub have a nice undersea backdrop to them. It's plain to see that the model is only about a foot underwater, but I give points for effort. Here's something that I find very fun to watch. We went to the trouble of building a full-size mock-up of the hatch of the flying sub for those scenes. That is effort, and I applaud it.
All right. Now, one of you is lying. Now, I've heard his story. What's yours? Or do you still insist you're Major Cheng?
Of course not. I'm Moana Yutang.
She posed as Major Cheng so she could get aboard and make contact.
Does that mean anything to you?
No.
He doesn't mean anything to me either. But I mean something to you.
Why?
Who else can lead you to the Halden computer?
She knows about the Halden computer. Now ask her how she knew the recognition code. He won't get around to that.
You know where Halden is?
Not exactly. But I know where there's a safe house in the jungle. Some of our men who worked on the complex are waiting there. I take you to them. They take you to Halden.
Just like that.
Why not?
Because Captain Crane likes to do things the hard way. I already explained that. Your way is too easy. He needs complication and confusion.
Or perhaps to lead us all into a death trap.
Where is the safe house?
About 10 miles from the source of this river and 5 more inland.
Have you heard of it?
I know it exists, yes.
They'll take the flying sub upriver as far as they can go and finish the trip on foot.
Contact, Skipper. There's a whole mess of them. All stop.
Those are mines.
Just as soon as they get away from those things. They're magnetic mines, but the flying sub has a thing that can put out a reverse polarity field and repel them. It's too bad their reverse field couldn't do anything about the proximity fuses. That panel that fried is the control for the sub's reactor. Sharky can fix it, but it'll take the better part of a full day. While he's doing that, Crane will take the rest of the bunch and head for the safe house. In the control room, Halden's colonel reveals that one of the people in Crane's party is a spy, and they're transmitting a steady signal that indicates the Americans are still alive.
Strange, isn't it, Captain?
What's that?
The stars. They're different here, but they cast the same magic spell they did over the Westwood campus.
Westwood.
I was an exchange student at UCLA.
Did it occur to you to ask why her English is so good? Pilar Surat is actually from the Philippines, but she got called on to play any flavor of Asian woman during her career. Her birth name was Renee Hernandez, which really makes me wonder where Pilar Surat comes from. I'll have to keep wondering because there are no answers out there. You may have gathered that names are a hobby of mine. Sometimes it's a hobby that gets frustrating.
And I loved everything about it. Pom-pom girls, sorority, theater arts. You know, I still wear my pin. It symbolizes something to me.
I'd take a close look at that thing if I were you, Captain. She says she came back to help her people. Is she succeeding?
What do you think?
Well, depends upon what you're really doing.
I thought a few sparks were starting to fly between them, but apparently it was just bullets.
Sounded like an ambush.
No doubt of it. And the firing came from the exact direction in which Monsieur Tang was leading us.
Major, you and I are going on a little scouting expedition.
Gladly. But I would be of more help carrying arms.
Here. Kowalski, you stay with Monsieur Tang. Keep her under guard.
Really, Captain? Your level of distrust is a bit lacking. Everyone at the safe house is dead. I told him to examine that thing. I don't know what she's doing, but it's probably not good.
Ooh, hold it, ma'am.
What's the matter?
What are you going after?
My lipstick? Don't you believe me? Even in one of these, I'm still a woman. And makeup doesn't last long in jungle humidity.
Think, Kowalski. Is she wearing any makeup now? Have you seen her with lipstick at all? And why would she fiddle with it now? Not only does colorful makeup make it harder to blend in with the jungle and hide, it smells. That odor is a giveaway to anybody who's hunting her. And besides, we saw Honey West. We know what kind of tricks you can hide in one of those. But Kowalski has an overactive sense of chivalry, so he'll let her take it out.
Just a lipstick. But if you don't believe me, see for yourself.
Hey!
Kowalski needs a refresher course in paying attention. So she's the spy and Chang is for real.
The rumble is on, Skipper. We just got a red coat flash from Washington, and you're in trouble.
Let's have it.
I don't know who that joker is tagging along with you, but it's a cinch he's not Major Chang. He couldn't be, Skipper. They just got the word the real Major Chang was killed in an ambush 2 days ago.
Okay, they're both spies. I didn't see that coming. Are they working together, or did they both stumble into the same mission?
My superiors wish to question you now about your flying submarine. I will take you to them.
So I'm going to make it to your scientific headquarters after all.
You've plenty of time to see your Arcturus 4 meet the same fate as your last probe. Shall we go?
The fake Major Chang smashed his radio, but he doesn't know about that homing signal on his belt. And there's one other thing he doesn't know.
You've arrived at our destination, Captain.
There's a deadly force field surrounding the hut that serves as an entrance to the underground complex. That box in the tree turns it on and off.
Certain death to anyone who doesn't wear the individual identification ring and knows its secret.
Thanks for letting me know. Now I can get in there without you.
This is no time for heroics, Captain. I have no compunctions about killing you.
I believe that.
You've had your warning.
Did you really think I'd trust you with a live weapon?
Remember I said there's something else he doesn't know? He doesn't know there aren't any bullets in that rifle. Another scuffle and he's down for the count. Crane ties him up, takes his ring, and he's ready to go.
Sorry, Captain. I didn't mean to startle you.
Just as soon as he deals with her, she really is with the resistance. That pin of hers was monitoring the signal our other guy was sending to his bosses. She had to find a way to let Crane know Chang was a fake, but Kowalski should be fine by now.
You still think I lie?
Let's see, she lied about being Major Chang, she lied about the lipstick. I wonder why he doesn't trust her.
This might help.
What's this?
A detailed schematic drawing of the interior of the complex.
Okay, that's a pretty big bargaining chip, and it's for real.
Where did you get this in the first place?
From the dying underground leader who sent me to you.
Why did he give it to you?
Stupid question, Crane. What's the most obvious answer?
He was my husband.
Duh. The first time I watched this, I said it before she did. It's that obvious, except to Captain Oblivious. He's on the ground trying to get that foot out of his mouth. Before long, Kowalski and Sharkey join them, so they have a full squad.
We have no report from our agent for almost 6 hours.
What difference does that make? We're impregnable here.
I have news for you, Doctor. You're about to be impregnated. We'll do this the Commando way. Shoot anything that moves, and if it doesn't move, shoot it to find out why.
Number one, the three of us can handle this. You better stay here.
Save your breath, Captain. You'll need crossfire cover, and I've got a personal score to settle.
Again, I say, really, Captain? She fought her way here, got you that map, finagled her way onto the flying sub, took down Kowalski, and you want to leave her behind because she's a girl? In many ways, she's a better commando than you are. Show some respect, dude. IMDb lists one goof for this episode, and here it is.
The force field's operative. This had better work.
Did you see it? Here it is again.
The force field's operative. This had better work.
Hopefully you caught it that time, but just in case, the switch is vertical. That means he needs to turn it horizontal to turn the force field off. But when he takes the ring off and goes to use it, the switch is in the horizontal position and he has to turn it vertical. Shows like this used to have someone called a script girl whose job it was to catch incongruities like that. But whoever was working on this episode, don't be too rough on her. Nobody can catch all of them, and really, without that IMDb note, I probably wouldn't have seen it. Thankfully, for a review like this, there are people in this world who have too much free time. As I said, we're playing for keeps. Crane even described it as a commando-style raid. Lots of loud noises and shooting, maybe a few explosions, create lots of confusion and fear. Keep them off balance until they're on the ground. Kowalski will stand guard out here while the rest make their way into the control room, which isn't hard to do once some thermite on the heavy steel door does its thing. In fact, they're having an easier time of it than Kowalski is. Ouch!
Against the wall! Move! Get over! Get over there! Move!
There's less than a minute before their force field destroys the Arcturus 4. Haldon says there's no way to stop it. Oh, I'll bet a nice spray of bullets and all that equipment might do the trick. But as we know, Lee Crane does things the hard way. Sadly, he took far too long doing that instead of just shooting it. By the time he got done farting around with that thing, the Arcturus 4 was space dust. Force field down, no thanks to him doing it the slowest way possible.
Stop him! He's going for the destruction button! He'll blow us!
How much time do we have?
Exactly 3 minutes, and the action is irreversible.
What are we waiting for? Let's move.
Hold it!
They're going to make all those guys stay there and get blown up. I told you we were playing for keeps. They collect Kowalski and they're out of there. Haldon won't be toppling any more spacecraft. Let's head for home.
You sure you won't change your mind, Moana?
I'm afraid not, Captain.
Those stars can look mighty pretty over the Westwood campus.
My star lies here, Captain, with my people.
Let's hope it shines brightly forever, Moana.
Oh, kiss her. You know you both want to. But the last time he got involved with a woman, it didn't turn out so well. This episode was something new in that Richard Basehart was in exactly one scene. Captain Crane was the main feature, but Kowalski and Sharkey were equally featured. Irwin wasn't afraid to let the secondary characters shine just as brightly as the stars. I found the force field thing a little hard to swallow, but we are, in the far distant future 1976, at least 10 years from when it aired, so who knows what can happen with technology in that much time. The show took advantage of that question just about every week. The advanced gadgetry in particular was a bit of speculation about where such innovations would go in 10 years. Some were accurate, some were a little ahead of their time, some were just goofy. But we loved all of it because, again, what's just beyond the horizon in technology? That's the beautiful thing about it. Any of us can come up with an idea and have a 50-50 chance of being right. Irwin just happened to be the guy who got paid to do it.
I'm breathing underwater, I'm weightless through space. I'm soaring like an eagle all over this place. Creatures most will never see are waiting there to look at me, and all I gotta do is breathe underwater.
During World War II, boy means he needs a voice